Hey there, Marshall here from Limited Resources and doing another stuck at home, hope to keep you company quarantine video here. It's Vintage Cube. So, again, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. And let's hang out for a little while. And what better place to do it than the old Vintage Cube here? We've got a really, really nice pack here. I mean, seriously, this has some stuff in it. I like Chalice. I really like Vivian Reed in the ramp decks. Natural Order's busted. Force of Will's really strong in the cube. Vamp Tutor's great, but colorless super ramp. Wow, just got past a Mox Jet. Okay. You don't have to tell me twice. It's not a signal other than my opponent opened and busted pack, but whatever. I'm just happy we got it. Still no direction here, really, so we can kind of take whatever we want. This is a much, much weaker pack. Cards I would consider Arbor Elf, honestly. Like, with this much ramp early, just picking up a few Eldrazi or something down the line means you can actually cast them. One of these lands I would consider. I'm a big fan of Mesmeric Fiend type effects, though they're not that powerful and not really that high priority. I just like them. I'll just take the Arbor Elf. Let's see if we can't just ramp it out here. But I'm pretty willing to change. Like, here's Snapcaster Mage 4th. That definitely catches my eye. Also, the fact that there's no green cards, and that last pack only had the one green card. Let's veer over here into old Snapdad. Pass in Flames. We could draft Storm. Yeah, let's try that. The elf would go in that scenario, but we could try to put together something here. I mean, we're just messing around, doing a little bonus content anyway, right? Let's see what happens. Mana Flare, that goes in that deck. Blood Crypt's also very good in the deck. And then Thousand Year Storm, if we can wheel it, would be amazing. There's 10 cards. Oh, man, that's rough. What's going to come back? This will for sure probably Terminus. Whatever. Let's just do it. 1,000 year it up. This card's basically like the super turbo version of Storm. It also does interestingly let you storm off without having to have like a true storm off turn. You don't actually need to make that work. I'll take Lotus Bloom. Dig's good too, but you do need your graveyard, and you do need a lot of the cards in your graveyard when you go off with Storm, so I'll take Lotus Bloom. Wow, that's a pretty rough pack here for what we're doing. I guess I'll take Light Up the Stage because it technically draws cards. All right, here's Manamorphose on the wheel, so that's nice. We'll see if we were right about that one pack, that those white cards would be left in it. If we wheeled the Mana Flare, that wouldn't be like unbelievable, either from the perspective of the chance of it happening, nor the perspective of how good it would be for us. It's a card we can put in our deck. It would be sweet though. I've come to the conclusion that the Storm deck in the Vintage Cube is just pretty bad. Like, it, if I was drafting for $1,000 or something, I wouldn't bother with it. Nothing here really. It doesn't perform particularly well, but it is fun and it's challenging. It's very difficult to play. If you ever watch, Luis or somebody do it, they make it look easy, but for normal people, it's not easy. All right. What is it? What is it? Terminus and Flicker Wisp? Is that what we said? I can't remember. Oh, we did get the Mana Flare, and it looks like we've got some white drafters at the table, too. Interesting. All right. I don't think we want this, actually, so there we go. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to put this over here, just because I like the art. I just want to look at it. Una Fricker, one of my favorite magic artists ever. All right, so what do we need here? Wishclaw, I've never actually seen it played in Storm, though I assume it does do something. Polluted Delta's high on the list. I'm a fan of Treachery, though. Basically, Treachery, you can view it as like a card that is a free Storm, right? Like you play it, you untap your lands. But if you can combine it with things like High Tide or Mana Flare, it can get really stupid, right? Where you have a Mana Flare and you Treachery and you actually net mana on it. It's actually kind of insane. That said, I think Polluted Delta is where I want to be here, kind of out of a sense of responsibility. like if we don't pick up a few of those, we could find ourselves in a spot where we can't cast our spells, and that's just unacceptable. So, all right, well, there's a Tolarian Academy and a Brain Freeze, so I guess we'll hope to wheel the Brain Freeze. I'm not going to put too big of an emphasis on that. Memory Jar and Mystic Confluence, also great. But yeah, I'm going to take Tolarian Academy because I'll pick up a bunch of artifacts if I can. They're really good in the deck. You're kind of hoping to dump your hand with mana of some sort and then have the big turn where you can generate a huge amount of it. In a deck like this, it's a little better. Like if we're going to try to 1,000-Year Storm and Past and Flame specifically, you want the rituals, right? Those are the ones that are more high priority, but this is a fine backup plan. All right, so Worn Power Stone or Faithless Looting are kind of the two cards that jump out. Worn Power Stone goes better with Tolarian Academy and can ramp us out into 1,000-Year Storm as soon as possible. But Faithless Looting is really good in a deck like this too, because it puts stuff in the graveyard for Past and Flames, and then of course gets you to the pieces that you need. Flooded Strand would also be a card we'd want. I think the real question here is which one's more likely to wheel, and that's clearly the Faithless Looting, as a lot of decks just don't want it at all. So I'll take Worn Power Stone. All right, well, this one's a brick. That's rough. That is really rough. These lands aren't the things we want. Guess I'll just take a big colorless card. Shrug. We could also veer into a... Like, we could cut a few things here and move away from Storm and move into just like Tolarian Academy mana ramp deck, take like a Golgari Signet or an Ulamog here, for example. Because I'm getting a little worried here. I mean, none of these cards are good for the deck. I could take the Signet, but it's like an off-color Signet. Like I said, it goes fine with Tolarian Academy, but it really doesn't go well with these or even this. I could take Banefire. It is actually a win condition with 1,000-Year Storm, but we'll probably wheel it. So I'll just take the Signet for now, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, see, here's the Workshop. This is getting kind of interesting, actually. There's an Underground Sea, usually a card you do want, especially with Polluted Delta already. Sure, I'll take it. Mindslaver, Chart of Course can go in the Storm deck, but it's not very good. Yeah, I'm wondering if we just want to take Mindslaver here and just sort of veer over into a different build, because the Artifacts deck does seem to be here, and the Storm deck does not. So we'll take this. This is an Artifact. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I like to try to take a stab at the Storm deck every once in a while, but it feels like somebody else is also doing so. Whatever. We can always just run this if we can cast it as well. Now, the thing that I'm hoping for the most, of course, is to wheel that Workshop. But I would say that's probably off the top of my head, 30% we have. It is a very narrow card that not every deck wants. It's also a standout card, though, that some people will like veer into or take just to hate it or whatever. So, yeah, looks like we're not going to get it. Sure. Okay. Library. That could be good. But Sunring Titan is really the type of card that this deck wants. Now we get a pretty good Storm pack with High Tide and Thirst, but whatever. I think that ship sailed, so we'll just take Sunring Titan here. Yeah, this is a in Tolarian Academy we trust type situation here for sure. I can take Karn. It's not an artifact, but it is castable with colorless mana, which is good, and there's some more mana. This is what we really need. Yeah, I see the Muldrifter, but we need Basalt Monolith much, much more than that. Armageddon. I like Phyrexian Metamorph in these decks. Yeah, now all the Storm cards are out. There's Frantic Search. Anyway, I'm still seeing those for some reason. You ever do that? You see another deck while you're drafting one deck, and it's just like you can't not see it. All right, there's an Upheaval. That's the business. And we just need a few more artifacts. All right, here's an interesting one. Wow, look at this. Golos, Tireless Pilgrim, and Simic Signet. We really need these signets, but Golos, very good in these decks. Golos can go get Tolarian Academy, for example. So I'm going to take Golos here. It's basically a second copy of Academy in decks like this, and this deck is extremely Academy specific. But we really need as many cheap artifacts as we can get. So passing a Signet's a major bummer. We're also pretty light on playables at this point. So it's another thing that we have to deal with. Trinket Mage. Could play that to go get our Mox. Yeah, this is rough. None of these are playables, and we are running real low here. Guess I'll take High Tide. We are going to run a lot of islands in this deck. Ancestral seems fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about this Battlesphere that I had over here. Turnabout? Can actually make a lot of mana. I guess I should take Sweltering Suns because it cycles for 3. Good old desperation. Well, it looks like we're just on the fringe of playables here, so this is a tough one because with the Storm deck not really being open in the first 2 packs, well, we had to switch colors and we're getting punished, or switch lanes here, and we're getting punished for it a bit. There's no doubt about it. Can't actually cast this reliably. This is with the Sweltering Suns in there too. Oof. I'm thinking we maybe dip into red here for real, which means we can cut the Sweltering Suns, add, you know, a few, like light up the stage. We can main deck an Ancient Grudge. Ugh, this is rough. But this gives, I mean, our color requirements are quite easy. We're mono blue outside of the Talisman, so getting a red source in here is not the end of the world. I do want to try to get Thousand Year Storm because we could do Thousand Year Storm plus Banefire, but we're so spell light. Like, this deck is just almost all artifacts, so it's really just not set up for that. So let's get rolling here. We could win with the Creeper as well. All right, so I think we can go like that. Now, I do want to, I'm wondering if I want to put this Lumbering Falls in, not because we're actually planning on activating it, it would just be a tap duel, but I would like to have the ability to activate Golos. And we've got white mana here, and then some green mana here as well. The Bloom could potentially do it, the Manamorphose as well, but not realistically. And I would like to be able to activate it. In a deck like this, it's uber powerful to be able to do so. I just don't know if it's worth it to have a Lumbering Falls over an island when we're like trying to play High Tide. Yeah, probably not. We're just gonna have to try to make it work with Manamorphose or whatever. Sad. In fact, I wonder if I should cut this Tar Pit. I do need a black source beyond just Polluted Delta plus Underground Sea. Although, now that I say that, this makes black and this makes black. And we have a Mox Jet. So you know what? I just don't think I need the Tar Pit. So I'm just going to add another island. All right. This is a terrible disaster. Let's see what happens. This really doesn't do anything. I'm halfway to glory, but I'm really leaning on a Mox because his turnabout doesn't do nothing. We'll keep it. Let's draw some action early, I suppose. Hey, look. Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. Okay, Polluted Delta, sure. All right, all right, all right. I have no idea how we're going to ever win this game. Especially since we've drawn literally all lands. Not the best. Yep. All right, that's a good one. Okay. Kind of a non-bow with Monastery Mentor, but I'm happy. I mean, if I can nab Monastery Mentor somehow, that would be a miracle. Bouncing Moxjet? I guess it's their only target. Could just bounce Venser and just keep me off of expensive stuff forever. How does my opponent not cast a non-creature spell yet? This is weird. Cast it. There we go. So I can Karn here. All right, so what does High Tide give me? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. But I can Turnabout. I'm wondering if I can get 2 of these things down. So if I play High Tide, I'll have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Play High Tide, I'm back down to, or excuse me, play Turnabout, I'm back down to, oh, sorry, no, this is an island 2. So I play it here, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Then I float 1, so 9. Then I play Turnabout, I'm down to 5. But then I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 back. So that's 16 plus this. So I actually can do 2 things. Like I could play Sundering Titan. I would lose my Mountain, boy, and my Underground Sea, but I get to blow up these 2. And I could play Karn and take out the Mentor and be facing down Venser, Trinket Mage, Monk, and have Karn plus Sundering Titan. And the Sundering Titan would be a tough bounce for my opponent too, because they could do it and kill Karn with their Dirtles, but then I can recast Sundering potentially. No, I won't be able to do that. So I wonder if it's better to go Karn plus Golos. I'm worried about Monastery Mentor. This is the card that like they can build out a board that I can't beat. So I feel like Karn's part of the equation here regardless. Okay, so yeah, 17. So I can basically do either of them. And I don't really know what the best answer is. I could also Karn Plus. My opponent hasn't really shown the ability to to go off with Monastery Mentor just yet. So why don't we try that? And then my Karn can't get killed. And if I figure that if they could go off, we would have seen that already. My own High Tide. Look at that. All right, I guess I should use up this mountain because it's going to be gone. Okay, so now if they bounce this, I get to take out their last land and one of my islands. Oh, they played the land first, so they're not doing that. And not that it's impossible by any stretch, but it's going to be difficult for them to get rid of Karn here on this attack. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. They need to cast 2 non-creature spells and have all of these things get through to kill Karn. So that's pretty tough. And then we left ourselves enough mana even through Karn, although if Sundering Titan goes away, less so, but to be able to cast Golos potentially. Targeting your Emerald. Okay, so they're just going to try to make some things with Monastery Mentor, which does make sense. It's a good play. So I'll probably... Let's just see if Karn survives here, because they need to get rid of Sundering Titan with some other spell, and then also do another non-creature, because it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Karn would still live here. So they need another non-creature spell, and they have to get rid of Sundering Titan to kill Karn. If they do, though, they'll probably win. I mean, I'll get to take out both of their lands here and leave mine in place, but they'll have this big army, and you know, Golos is good, but not that good. But Oppo has 4 cards in hand and tons of mana, so it could happen. Ah, they're going to attack me. 2, 4, 6. It's still not enough. They must just be going for the 2-turn kill here. I have to just block the Monastery Mentor. All right, what do I want to kill? These have more power innately, but these can get more power. I could attack Teferi here, because Teferi in another turn is going to be a big problem. If they let Teferi die, I can Karn away one of these, cast Golos, and have a blocker here. And then, yeah, but then any spell kills us. That's too risky if they just don't care about Teferi. Let's see if this resolves. I guess I just get Academy here. It makes the most mana. So do I get rid of a guaranteed 2 or the potential for more? I have to assume that my opponent's going to be able to play something to make at least these 2/2, and they of course can become 3/3s. If I exile one of them, I have 2 blockers, and I can for sure block this. If I exile one of these, I could block both of these and take the 2. So it's probably not super relevant. So I'll just get rid of Venser and say go here. Could super easily die here, though. They just need like basically a removal spell. If I can survive this turn, then I'm okay, I think. I can start, you know, I can take out another creature with Karn. Upheaval, you say. Do you have any mana floating? Because if not, I think I like our position post-upheaval here. Maybe they just have a land drop to give. Well, they definitely have a Mox drop to give. Okay, they actually had to play their land that turn too. All right, this gets interesting. They have to discard 3. We'll go up to 11. We'll get to play 2 things. And have to discard a couple as well. They discarded the Mentor. Okay. This is a cool game. Not going the way I thought it would. We do need something in between. Like, Mox Island is good, and then getting a Tolarian Academy to make a little bit of mana, but we need like one more artifact to at least make this tap for 2. Ooh, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's a really good draw. That's kind of exactly the type of thing that we wanted here. One of those for sure, and then I guess just the other one. Yeah. In Tolarian Academy, we trust, basically. And then this is going to become a Teferi at some point here. Oh, man. I actually drew the Ancient Grudge. That's funny. Yeah, this had to be our best draw, though. Like, at least on the short list. Because this just turbos us right into the big stuff here. Like, I can cast Sundering Titan next turn or Karn next turn. All right, so I did exile Venser, right? I did. What am I forgetting about? Oh, wow. I can't remember what they could have here that they wouldn't want to cast it. I mean, I'm assuming we're looking at a counterspell of some sort here. So maybe I'll just cast Golos as a hedge. I mean, their opponent's not doing anything. And then I can just cast Worn Power Stone and load up for next turn. I'm actually going to just get a mountain anyway. All right, this works for me. What is going on here? Attack? All right, I must have missed something with the Planeswalker or something. I don't know what I'm missing here. But I will tell you, I am going to Ancient Grudge one of these. Green, this is probably just in here for green. So I'll get rid of, or just for mana, just because it's a Mox, I don't think that my opponent's playing green cards. And then I'm just going to go for Sundering, I guess. Could leave my opponent with just 2 mana sources if it goes. I would have to lose a couple or one of mine, but I've already kind of done the deed here with Grudge. I also could just do nothing. I mean, my opponent's representing some type of counterspell, but didn't seem to care about Golos, so they must figure I can't beat Sundering Titan or Karn. They're going to float. Yeah, whatever. I'll just say go. If they couldn't do anything last turn, what's the big thing they can do here? Okay, sure. Okay. I'm just going to run it out next turn now, but I don't know which one yet. Oh, I forgot to untap this. That's okay, though. Signet. That resolved. All right. Oh, you've got something. Oh, no. It's Archangel Avacyn. Yeah, that's game. Exactly lethal also. Yeah, so I can't get around that, though. Even if I cast Karn, they just flash it in on end step and kill me. All right, GG. What can I do? I can bring in Pyroclasm. I think that's the first time I've ever done that in the cube. And I should have this Lumbering Falls in here because I also have the Ancient Grudge flashback, so I should just be playing it. And I'll just kill Wasteland. It's fine. It's not a great Magic card anyway. All right. Off we go. All right. This looks good. Looks very good, actually. Pretty good, at least. I think that, is there the Lotus that I can get still? Oh yeah, Lotus Bloom, that's what it was. Oh baby, in 3 turns the fireworks will begin. I like getting the Mage out just to be able to start applying pressure to any Planeswalkers that my opponent plays. Okay. The not super impressive Time Walk. Now let's see what they have, because if they have like a Mentor here, I like their chances. If they don't, they need to find one. I mean, they have infinite time to kill us. And we don't really have the tools to defend ourselves. But if by some chance we can survive for a couple of turns and not have my opponent with a huge board, then I like our chances quite a bit, because this is an explosive turn. We'll have tons of mana. We'll get a bunch of extra cards. All right, looks like they didn't have anything, though. So that's good. They boarded in Disenchant, it looks like. I accept. Sack the clue. All right, it looks like we're going to be able to be alive here by the time this this whole suspend situation resolves. And that's what I was hoping for, so I'm in for it. I don't think I'm going to activate the Talisman here. Oh, perfect. That's great. Talisman trading for kind of a premium counterspell, I'm in. Now the question is, are these going to resolve? That's the next question we have. The good news is we're alive. And so we'll see now how these come off the stack and if they end up resolving. Because the Lotus Bloom is like whatever. My opponent can just say sure, but the vision matters because we're down to 1 card. And it looks like it's not going to resolve. I think it's going to get Vensered here. And I'll have to just resuspend it then. Try to hold the Snapcaster Mage to flash back that Manamorphose if I can. But my mana's a little awkward with only the one green source, so I can't just do it willy-nilly. I'll trade here. That's interesting. So my opponent deftly did not cast their Mox, which means that I can't get it. The good news is I can do it at instant speed, so I can kind of limit them to just one activation of that Mox. That's not the worst. Now they have Venser plus Caracas. Which makes me want the what's it called back, the Wasteland. As it stands, though, I still might be able to snipe this Venser with Snapcaster Mage or make them Caracas it kind of at an awkward time or something. Still, we're very much leaning on Ancestral Vision, and we're kind of flooding here, so it's not really working. All right, so let's go for this. I assume that this is going to work out poorly. We're just basically going to force our opponent to recast Venser here, but I kind of want to make them do things with their mana. So bounce it. Oh, they got Path. Swords. Yeah. Take the one. All right, they tap Caracas. This isn't good news, though, because they're tapping a ton of mana here. Looks like maybe a Krasis. Oh, it's Upheaval. All right, well, let's Manamorphose here. Pyroclasm's actually a pretty good one, although the red mana's an issue. In the meantime, though, I don't have any reasonable targets to flash this back on, so we'll just grudge this so that they don't get it back into their hand, which will slow down their redevelopment, and we still have the thing coming off of Suspend. So this isn't the worst again. I mean, I can go turn 1 Signet. Do they not even have a land to give here? Oh, they did. Okay. But with the Mox, it would have been much worse. So that's actually okay. My opponent's very happy to cast Upheaval, but I think both times it's been like, I don't know, debatable whether it was good or bad for us. Suspend this, and I'll cast, I guess, this signet. Sure. They're going to crack the clue immediately because I can nab it next turn. And I think this is my special moment here. Yes, it is. Oh, look at that. I got my own upheaval. And high tide. Okay, okay. I got turnabout, high tide, upheaval. Well, we might be able to show our opponent what upheaval's really about. In the meantime, let's just keep ramping. I'm going to have to discard a card here. The Pyroclasm's tempting, but it's probably better just to do an island, because we're going to be picking these up before stuff gets too out of hand anyway. And I think we can set up a turnabout high tide turn where we can maybe just recast all of our artifacts. Because we'll also have Lotus Bloom. Now, the issue here, though, is Venser. So my opponent wants to cast Venser. They want to leave up Venser and... Oh, Monastery Mentor. Okay, that's different. All right, so I play an island here. I play High Tide. I go 2-4. Then I play Turnabout. I untap my lands. So I've got 0, but then I get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'll get 9 mana total. But I won't have a land drop at that time. One thing I could do that could be interesting is I could just go for Turnabout on my opponent's turn to tap their lands. And then if they go, sure, Venser it in response, I go, that's fine. And then, oh, actually, that's really good. Because then on my turn, I actually still have the Turnabout. So it makes them kind of decide one way or the other. And then I get to do it next turn when I have Lotus Bloom and an additional land for High Tide. Yeah, I'm into that. Because then the turn's just completely stupid. Like, that's one of those ones where, like, besides lands, that your board looks almost the same as when you cast Upheaval and your opponent's just doesn't. All right, they let it happen. So now I get Lotus Bloom. Ooh, Metamorph's cool too. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I can just recast everything. And still have a land to give as well, and High Tide will still be up. That works. I'm wondering if I should Pyroclasm these away. I don't think I should, though. So I have 6 mana now, 7 mana. Wait, I have 7 mana? I'll just do that. I can catch up with this other nonsense later, because next turn I can just metamorph this and make another one. Oh, they had Path. That sucks. But my rebuild is still fine, and I get to start bashing them. That is a big play, though. That is a game changer. Because now I need to find another threat at some point. I have plenty of mana to work with. That's not going to be the issue. And I do get to pound on them a bit here. But having the Path definitely hurts. But I've got infinite mana, so it's just a matter of basically finding something. And then Pyroclasm also can clear away a lot of my problems. This is a stopper, though. Look at that. I wonder if I should Phyrexian Metamorph it. Probably not. That's probably a little antsy. 3, so that doesn't actually work, so I'll just pass. If I attack with everything all 3 times, I can get 3 + 2 + 1, which is certainly not 12. See what we draw. Huh. That's a big threat. So this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And one of those. And then I'll probably just Pyroclasm. Oh, that's interesting. All right, this is a sweet turn. So I get to do this. Taste it, clue. Oops. Lethal. All right, so clocks are a consideration. I'm a little bit behind on clock right now, and my deck is terrible and difficult to play. So we do have to consider it. I should probably go back for this Wasteland. As awful as it is in a deck like this, it's probably just a necessary thing. And I'll just skimp. There's just no great way around this stuff. Oh, I want Sweltering Suns. No, I can't cast it for double red realistically. I want it in the deck. Like, these little sweepers are really good, but I don't think I should redo my whole deck just to get Sweltering Suns in there. I guess I could put it in. Like, I can cycle it, right? Like, if I just don't happen to have the red mana sources available, I can just cycle it. But like Metamorphose, if I have one mountain, turns it into casting it. I guess I'll lean harder towards the red than the random flashback for this one, because even though my opponent does have some artifacts, it's actually been the little creatures on the board that have been much more problematic. All right, what do we have here? A Wasteland, a Signet, a Basalt Monolith. Boy, this is just a little too rough. I'm going to mulligan that one. This one's really bad too, but I'll keep it. Because it has hope. Like, I can suspend this. Hope to draw a land here. Play the Signet, and then just have like at least an outside shot of casting one of these 5s. All right, we missed. Another little 2-ball. All right, another bad draw, but at least something that gives us more hope. Because now we can go land into Signet, into Monolith, into something big. My opponent's deck is not fast. It doesn't close out the game quickly, but it does have powerful threats that have to be respected. So, oh man, that's a bummer. And I'm assuming that the Ancestral Vision's not going to happen here. But I can still just draw a land and start to do things. Otherwise, I'm going to have to discard a lot. No, it did happen. All right. I guess I'll just go big. Normally I would play Worn Power Stone first to try to kind of bait it out, but here I don't think, I mean, the truth is I'm not under like immense pressure, but come on, my opponent has 4 cards in their hand. Like they're going to do something. Oh, they're off of white mana. Maybe that's what's going on here. Because that turn was amazing. We went land, Mox, Monolith, Power Stone all in one turn, which is incredible. We somehow don't have double blue. That's funny. But if I can resolve Golos and then go get Tolarian Academy, then I can tap for 3, maybe 4 extra mana, or actually 4 mana, and then maybe even a 5th mana. You know, give me the discount on the Signet as well. Like that could be devastating. I assume my opponent would have countered like the Basalt Monolith if they had a counter. Like certainly they would have Spell Pierced it. I don't know if they would have used a different counter or a Venser or something like that. So that's kind of the question. Don't DAC me. The good news is we just went ahead on clock as well. So if this does end up being one of those big grindy games, then that'll be it. But if my opponent is actually like has uncastable spells or is out of gas, we're in excellent shape because I can go Golos, get what's it called, and then I can just upheaval and recast all of this stuff in the same turn, and my opponent won't have anything, you know. And then I can go Sundering Titan, etc. We've all seen how that goes. There's just going to be a very big tipping point coming up soon where either my opponent does something that threatens me massively or they have a very timely disruption. Oh, baby. Mana Flare? Are we upheavaling now? Oh, turnabout with the discount. Okay, well, this is not what I was expecting, but yeah, this is another way we can lose the game. So now I guess we get upheavaled. Okay, now they can make, I assume, infinite mana. Wow. All right. Well, this is not how I thought this was going to go. I'll tell you that. We do have a dream scenario, given how badly this has gone, that they do all of this stuff, but then somehow either we have our permanents or they don't kill us. Like they don't just go Banefire you for the full amount or whatever. Because then we can upheaval and just erase all of this. And our upheaval is actually really good because of this. But my opponent's making a huge amount of mana here, so I have to assume... I guess I don't have to assume lethal, but I kind of do. They could have Banefire, they could have Explosion. I wonder if they switched decks or modified their deck, because we still haven't seen any white mana. And I don't think we saw this card, or this card in game 1 or 2. Uh-oh, they said oops. You're fine. Oh, it's Brain Freeze. I'm down to 8 cards. Now what? Now I take 2 damage and we get to play a game of Magic? Okay. So I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I could make it 9 or I can save that. Oh, I screwed up. Okay. This isn't a disaster or anything, but I screwed up. I was thinking of getting 2 extra mana from the land that I played post-combat, but I can't. It's because Mana Flare's gone now. So I have the 3 mana that I need to do like the best stuff. But I could have had 1 additional mana, which maybe lets me get a Signet or something, but I can't really worry about it now, unfortunately. I'll just dump my hand here. So I'm down to 7 cards, and I just need to get a threat down. So I think this turn I untap Monolith and play Signet, or I just go get, what's it called? No, Clarion Academy's gone. Okay. All right. If that's the case, then I'm just going to untap the Basalt Monolith and go for Sundering Titan, I guess. And just try to smash my opponent with it. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got plenty to cast this Signet with. Five turns? That should be plenty. So it gives them access to potentially 3 mana here. And they played Time Walk. All right. So I was debating between just casting Sweltering Suns to kill the Electromancer or just playing Karn to blow up their land. And I decided on blowing up the land because they didn't do anything last turn. So theoretically, the most they could do is the same. But that has gone badly here. They can actually do more. So we'll see how this goes. So they kill Karn, but then they really are in kind of chump block mode pretty quickly here. Ooh, that's a draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I wonder if I have a land in here. With 4 minutes left, I guess it's worth just counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, I should have a land. Now, do I have an island? I played 8 islands, I believe. 6, 7, so I should have 1 more. It matters because it's a turn, but it's a turn either direction. And of course, the cool part about Mindslaver is that it is also Time Walk. They don't have any instants. Woo! We got there. I don't know how. I really don't. I might have to go back and watch this one along with you because it's like doesn't make any sense. But we did find a win somehow. So let's see if we can find another. sure. Look at this combo. Look at all these combos we've got. Taste it. Sweet. We actually hit good stuff. Blech. That's probably game. Yeah, this will probably be a game where if we can get Mindslaver, then we have a slight chance to win. Like if we can actually cast and activate Mindslaver, but probably not. Although I have to say that of all the things, Plow Under actually isn't the all-time worst here. Oh, actually, it's pretty bad. Yeah, because now I can't cast this. All right, you got me. Getting that thing down kind of opened up the world a little bit, but looks like this is going to be a long, slow torture here. You know, I'm actually just going to kill this. It basically takes 2 mana off the battlefield. And I don't see a realistic way that I could get Karn dead. Just start killing me. Makes sense. Yeah, my opponents just sort of correctly recognize that just beating the heck out of me is probably going to be better. I should have played the island. Oh, well. Okay, so they get the Sundering Titan, blow up 2 of my lands. Probably game. Hit me for 6. Oof. Rough. I do get to... 2 of their lands do go away, if it's any consolation. But it's kind of not. They even found a signet to make it 8 instead of 6. Look at that. All right, well, I can use Turnabout to tap down their creatures so I don't just die this turn. It doesn't quite get me to the Lotus Bloom turn, because if I could have the Lotus Bloom turn plus Memory Jar, maybe something. Okay. I think I just do this. No, none of this works, right? I mean, I can grudge the Titan, but I'm just going to lose. Like, I don't. None of this provides a even remotely reasonable answer for Kozilek, so I'm just going to scoop rather than show my opponent these cards. Well, not much we can do here. We're just going to get stomped, I think. So let's see what happens here. Drown Island. Okay, so I could Wishclaw for something. It's actually kind of a big problem. It's funny, I didn't think that was a big deal, but I did have kind of a line in my head going around like play Wishclaw, wish for Sundering Titan, blow up their lands, and then theoretically, whatever they use the wish for was just be like some mana or something, right? But I have a Sundering Titan that I'm pounding them with. But unfortunately, that will not work here because they can just go, sure, play one of them back right away. I mean, it does set them back 2 land drops, but like they're going to recover from that very quickly and we'll lose. So I could instead do a similar line of play, but go for Karn. And for example, I could Karn to exile a Plains, and then they would only have the Excavator left, and the Plains is gone. I could also just get rid of the Excavator itself, or I could even plus Karn. So let's see. I do this, play it, do this to activate it, get Karn in my hand, then I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 mana. So it does work. I guess I'll just do that. Not in love with it, but... it should at least keep my opponent at bay a little bit. I could also exile that, though that seems bad. And the Metamorph could be very good against this opponent if they do stick something really big. And then a land. And it's Cradle, okay. So we'll start there. Trying to decide if I want to just crack this clue or play this signet. Suppose I'll just play the signet. It's a bummer. The turnabout would have been really good this turn, but I was just a little bit short on mana to be able to use it. But tapping down their lands or even their creatures, just give me another turn with Karn with this much loyalty would have been really good. All right, so Vivian can blow up this or just start refilling the hand. Oh, this is an artifact, right, of course. All right, so Karn down, and then I have a clue token. Yeah, that sucks. Getting rid of the Metamorph was big. Jar. All right. This doesn't work on this right now, so that's fine. I don't know. I guess we could have a big memory jar turn. Yikes. They can't cast it because I exiled that plains, at least not right now. If I drew High Tide, I could cast it and then make a bunch of mana with Turnabout and then crack Memory Jar and just try to hit something big. Oh, interesting. So I guess we just lose. So if this is Kozilek, they get a bunch of cards. It's Emrakul. So they control the turn with Memory Jar. Yeah, I don't think we can win. I'm just going to concede. Otherwise, we just have to sit there and watch them kill all of our stuff and leave us with nothing and have fun figuring out our own deck for us. But yeah, that was pretty good from our opponent for sure. Much better deck than ours. I already feel like some level of accomplishment just for having gotten one match. It would be an all-timer if I can get 2 wins out of this thing. But we're going to try, I'll tell you that. This is a powerful hand. This is actually the type of hand that would be good against that last opponent. Vista for Forest. Into Hierarch. Okay. Yeah, that's actually kind of the kind of things we want to see here. Take it all back. Not the kind of thing we want to see. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, okay. You haven't done anything with your Lotus just yet. No! Slimer? They went for green mana. Plow Under again. Okay. Everybody loves a Plow Under. It's an okay card. It's honestly not... Like, if you're ahead, it seals up the game most of the time. And it feels really bad, but it's not... I don't know. I'm not that blown away by it. I should probably just play this Delta. Although I actually just want the land, so never mind. I mean, and also we have to consider, and in these circumstances, they had to use a Black Lotus to do that. Like, that was not just card for card there. Or card for 2 cards in this case. And look, I got a Lotus too. Though I don't think I'm going to cast it just yet. Or use it just yet, I should say. So 2, 3, 4, I could cast the Jar if I wanted to crack the Lotus, but I don't. I just want to save up for a nice big upheaval turn, I think. Especially if I can find like one more artifact, you know, that I could just put back on the battlefield, for example. That would be fine. I actually have my green mana here. How lucky. Heh, I did it. I found the artifact I wanted. Question is, should I play Memory Jar with it? And the answer is probably no. I should just pass here. And I can have my big upheaval turn. It's funny, my opponent hasn't really done much. They've actually been missing land drops ever since the Plow Under. So it looks like the Plow Under was maybe a little bit more defensive. I mean, I have 12 mana. I can kind of do whatever I want. If they counter the upheaval, what happens? I go 3, 6, and then tap out everything else. They counter it. And I have 3, 4, 5. So I have plenty of mana left over just to like cast Memory Jar. Yeah, let's just do it. Okay, so it looks like it's going to get countered. Bit of a bummer, because my opponent's going to get 6 extra mana here so they could cast a whole bunch of nasty stuff, but what are you going to do? It's Mana Drain. It's one of the better cards in the cube. Certainly the best counter. Okay. That's pretty good. They only have 3 lands, so it's not devastating, but it's pretty darn good. Oh, and then they're going to Geddon. Well, I may just need to use Memory Jar to reload then. Although Basalt Monolith is pretty good, though. If they go land, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. They can kill me realistically in 2 turns, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. Just pass here. I can't actually get anything with this because I've already drawn the 2 things. But I can chump block. All right. So let's see what we can do here. I think I like bringing in the Pyroclasm Sweltering Suns thing. I think that's actually pretty good. I'm going to kill the Wasteland and bring in another Mountain. I think I'm going to take out Turnabout and High Tide. Because if they do manage to fire off an Armageddon effect or something, those kind of cards just are so bad to have. You don't even have any lands at all. All right, let's try this. Pretty easy keep here. Quite a powerful hand, actually. This is really important to kill mana creatures if they're trying to sweep the board. All right, for now I'm just going to ignore and just try to be the fastest deck that I can be. Also, they might play another killable creature into this, so it's possible that we get 2 creatures with Pyroclasm or something. Like, if they played a Hierarch here, we would do it. Oh, they've got 5 mana all of a sudden. This makes white, though, so they can't actually plow under. I think that might be what they're doing. Oof, that's worth it. So I'm definitely going to be Pyroclasming here. So I don't know if I want to tap the Grim Monolith in this process. I think I don't. I wonder if I could have done that differently. What if I would have played Tolarian Academy, tapped the Signet or tapped the Monolith, floated a mana, then tapped the Signet for 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and then I could have untapped, so I screwed that up. All right, there's the Plow Under, which I think I figured was happening either way, but still, you should try to play clean. But I think I can just do that now. But killing their mana creatures is a big game for sure. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I have to give up one of my islands and my mountain, but I can blow up 2 of their lands. I don't have to give up my island. Okay, so that works then. I mean, it's even better. It takes them off of a lot of mana, not just the 2 lands, but also an additional from Raphaelos. And of course, it's a healthy clock. I mean, 7 power adds up very, very quickly. Now, we are completely out of gas here. Having to sack the mountain meant that light up the stage is no longer a thing. So, all right. In we come. You jumping? Weird. What was that about? I wonder why. I think if they hit a second blue source, I just don't cast anything. In case I get mana drained. Upheaval. Could cast it. I think I won't. I think it's better to just wait in this scenario. I'm in a really commanding position, and I can untap my Grim Monolith here and have a ton of mana, and if they do anything that is like, uh-oh, then I can upheaval. They're going to balance. Okay. So we're going to stay even on cards. We're going to stay even on lands, except for they're going to kill this, so they're going to lose 2 of their lands. Okay, so now we figure out why they chumped, by the way. So let's untap this just before I have to do anything that I care about. Okay. I'm done. Yeah, I can live with this. Phew, nice. And I'll just get a red source here with Golos. That had to be just one of the best draws, though. Because it's actually a threat. It's like a creature that can start getting in, and it lets us cast light up the stage as well. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. So now we get the thing. Let's see what we draw here. Power Stone. All right, so how many creatures are in the yards right now? They only have 1 green mana. So enough basically that they could do this perpetually, but only once per turn, at least at the current levels. I don't think I want to cast anything else, right? No. Just keep pressuring. Okay, and then they lose a life down to 3, which makes this lethal, but then they can gain a life back off of the Scavenging Ooze, but it eats up one of their mana for the turn. All right, there's a Lotus. Their deck is insane. So the Lotus actually lets them get to 5/5 here. Right, so 3/5/5, yeah. So what if I make green with this? Green, black, white, red, blue. I could activate Golos. Let's do that. The Lotus I'll just sack in response. Scavenging Ooze doesn't do a ton for me. Second Memory Jar might, I guess. I'll just do that. And then back down. And then we're just going to try to lean on having like a billion mana next turn. And Memory Jar, of course. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is force my opponent to use their Black Lotus, or at least gently encourage them to do so. If I can get rid of Ooze or Black Lotus, I think I'm in a really dominant position. So here they could take it and do this, or they could do this and try to gobble it up with the Black Lotus, but there's only 3 more creatures left right now. I don't have any in my yard. And so what that means is I can cast Sweltering Suns and kill the Scavenging Ooze. It'll kill my Golos as well, but I'm okay with that. And there's not going to be enough food to save it. So they won't use the Lotus. They'll just have to let the Scavenging Ooze die. All right, so that happened. It looks like my black mana source is gone. I looked here. Oh, it must have been one of these. What do those get exiled to? I forget. Are those the cards that were in my hand? Oh, yeah, it's in my other hand. Bummer. All right, so now, though, I can try to get a little creative, maybe do a little snap casting here. I can also just cast this stupid thing. Yeah, they're all red spells, so I can't do anything with it. But I can just cast Snapcaster Mage here. And then I can just cast Wishclaw Talisman and just be like, sure. Sure, whatever, Grudge. All right. So now they go down to 3 here, and I've got a Snapcaster that is lethal if it gets to hit and they don't have anything. And if they play something that matters, I can Upheaval. Trying to cover as many bases as I can. All right, we covered them all. All right, 1 game. Are we going to get a winning record with this deck? Doesn't seem likely, does it? I wonder if I want Banefire. Like, it's not a great Magic card, but it does kill a mana creature at an inefficient rate, which seems kind of desirable, honestly. Like, the card that won us that game was this. Like, the fact that we killed those 2 mana creatures. Remember, we got Plow under that game. Like, it's not like that was, smooth sailing. Let's try that. Boy, this deck is a real... it's a real piece of work. Mono red, huh? All right. Like Banefire off the top? I'd take it. Let's play Monolith. So pretty good start here for our opponent. Okay, but they didn't do anything there, so that's promising. I want to get Mindslaver down, but what am I going to do? Like, what's the... I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. Let's just play this. I mean, maybe I'll just ramp into Mere Battlesphere and be like, is this good enough? Because it's really good. Yeah. Every time. The thing is, we can still just cast Battlesphere here. It's like, still just good. Now, if they just kill the Mere Battlesphere itself, we're kind of in bad shape, I'd say. I mean, maybe not terrible. My opponent still hasn't done a ton, but I wouldn't say I love my spot there. Because these aren't untapping. But if I get to start smashing with Mere Battlesphere, it could work. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna. I'm just gonna do it. Taking it? All right, I'm just going to pass here. I don't even want to open up the door to let my opponent mana drain something and then go boom, and play some, get a big, even a 3 mana boost, or even a 1. I guess it would be 3. All right, well, there's the Lotus, so they got their mana boost either way. And they're going to upheaval. Okay. I think they couldn't float mana, but they have a land drop and a Black Lotus, so they're probably fine. And then they can cast the Ooze. All right, so we got to try to make a rushing comeback here, just as fast as we can. Interesting. So if there's no creatures in the yard, I could just Klasm away a land or a mana source from them as well as Scavenging Ooze, while I build up my mana over here to start casting multiple big dummies. I don't know, it might be worth it. The problem is, of course, Snapcaster. I would lose my Snapcaster Mage. Do I really care? I don't know. I feel like these cards are just better, especially this one. It's funny that this is face up. But this is our only blue source currently. It does feel like just getting rid of it if I can is a good plan. Ooh, Search for Tomorrow. Okay, that's pretty good. And they're going to just go ahead and attack. So I assume they just take this. All right, let's do it. Okay. And then I can just start dumping mana onto the battlefield. I also drew Trinket Mage, which can go get my Mox, which is not the worst. This is annoying, but that last turn was pretty decent for us. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I could go like Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, that kind of thing. But it's also tempting to just cast Trinket Mage for the Mox and set up for the big turn next turn, but also have a 2-power creature here matters. Like, it actually is a thing. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. It's a weird one. Because normally the Trinket Mage itself is kind of a throwaway creature, but it's actually a 2-turn clock. Like, this kind of says, okay, opponent, if you wanted to like go get an island here and try to do some type of thing where you're countering my big stuff but letting me have my artifacts, one of those lines of play, that's not going to work anymore. You're going to have to put something on the battlefield. And if you do, and it doesn't completely wreck me, then I can have a turn where I get to go like, play both Basalt Monolith and Grim Monolith next turn, for example. And then untap and, get to cast both of these or something stupid. There's the island. So cards I need to be aware of here, for sure, Balance, which I think still exists somewhere here. And my opponent does have white mana. So if I go like Mirror Battlesphere, and then they're just like, cool, balance it, that's not going to be great for me. All right, let's see what we draw. Banefire. Wow, that was sweet. That's probably just the win, because they can't trade here, right? Oh, I was wrong. Weird. Okay, so they traded. Now let's just go for it. Actually, wait. Wait. Let's just not be stupid. How about that? How about we, instead of being stupid, we be not stupid? So I can generate a lot of extra mana here. Like this. We did it! We got 2 wins with this pile of crap. Oh, man. What? I tell you what, that feels better than a trophy. Better than a trophy picking up 2 wins with that junker. Okay, let's call it there. You've seen enough of this nonsense for one day, that's for sure. Again, just trying to put out some extra content, hang out with you for a while while we're all stuck in our houses. We'll see you on the next one.